Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're doing this early bird one on a Monday today, and thank you for being here post-holiday. And I hope you all had a enjoyable holiday experience over the weekend, despite the weather, which really put a real slowdown on a lot of things. Unfortunately, a lot of music shows and that ended up canceled. Those who had them, hats off to you. Yes. Scotty Long in the house. Thank you for being here. Gary, thank you for being with us. So yeah, we are early live, guys. As we say, if you're out there, make a comment. Let me know you're in the house. Shane DeMoss joined the party. How you doing, Shane? Ray Renee, thank you. Hope your holidays were as well, Ray. We had a great time with family. I'm going to do a little family stuff tonight. That's why I'm going early, and it's still technically a holiday today for most people. So we're taking it early. Don't have a whole lot to report on from the weekend. Didn't see a lot of music. Spent more time with family than we did doing the music thing, but that's okay. It worked out really well. So Patrick Witt, how are you? Thank you for being with us. Gary in the house, thank you for being here. Cricket, thank you for being with me. Do I have my cricket noises ready? I don't know. Do I? Maybe. There it is. All right. Cricket is in the house. Shane DeMoss survived the big chill. Yeah, they don't make a movie like that or something. I don't know. Man, it was cold out and it was nasty out, and the weather was. I ended up Friday actually driving Mrs. Hall around town, who had to do her job, which is making sure people buy their houses and closing their loans and all those things. So and closing parties, and we were all over the region for that one. It was dicey out there Friday. It was ugly. So glad I have the old 4-wheel truck and all that. So if you're joining us here early, thank you for being here. I didn't even post anything about doing something today, but we appreciate you stopping in. If you played music over the weekend, let us know where you played and how the crowd was, because a lot of people said they were playing to no one. Some people said they had packed houses. So it's interesting. We didn't get a chance to make it Friday night to Brandy Connero's final show with Strangelove. And that was a sad one for us. We actually had reservations at Carlo and Johnny's and everything else and couldn't get down there. So that's the way it works down south of town. So before I get started, though, today, first and foremost, let me say this. We are deeply saddened today by the passing yesterday of Tony Gietlein, an incredible bass player and an even better human being. And Tony's been battling brain cancer for over a year now. And he fought a gracious and very, very tough fight. He did. And, he gracefully did it. Tony was one of those guys who, when you talk to him, you never would have known, other than the fact that he had obvious outward signs of being a cancer patient. You never would have known in his positivity and his upbeat attitude that anything was ever wrong. And I will say he was such a humble man and a wonderful human being. The times I got to cross paths with him, I was introduced to him originally at the Bell and the Bears jam night. And we all watched him play and in amazement, because Tony had all kinds of contraptions hooked to him, for lack of a better term, and things that were dealing with his brain cancer. And yet he'd still get up there and he'd play bass and sing, like a superstar. So our prayers go out to the Gietlein family and everyone who he knew and loved. And all I can say is heaven gained a hell of a bass player yesterday. So wonderful guy. And Tony Gietlein has left us, and he'll always be remembered in our music community for sure. So thank you all for being with us today. We are here at Hall Around Town Radio Studios in beautiful downtown Springboro, Ohio. And let's see what you got to say. How'd your weekend go, people? Somebody tell us. Yes. So Shane said his wife was trapped with him in the house. I bet she didn't care to listen to you play. That'd be all right. Did you do some Christmas tunes, Shane DeMoss? That's what I want to know. Patrick Witt, thank you for that. Yeah, it's very sad. And Cricket, you knew Tony as well from the Bell, and such an amazing person. Just absolutely how he was even standing up and doing what he was doing amazed me. And then just to continue to live through his music, it was good stuff. It was. So thank you, Wanda Bone, for being here. Wanda said she didn't leave the house. Yeah, well, we didn't do a whole lot. We did some things with the kids and all that, who came over for the weekend and enjoyed some quality family time. But I saw a lot of people post on the Book of Face that they said it was kind of a blessing in a way. They slowed down a little bit because of the ice and snow and just stayed home and enjoyed some time at home and found some things to do that weren't going out all the time, which was tough on our venues. It was, because those are big nights. The night of Christmas Eve, basically, is always a big one. And thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. And when you read his wife's post, if you read his wife's post online, Tony's wife posted about, he passed away on Christmas Day, surrounded by his kids and his grandkids. That is so tough to even read and to even think about. And so many people are lost around the holiday season, or, that. So it's a tough one. Patrick said he made it to church, play for Christmas Eve service, and back home to the fireplace. Thank you. So yeah, if you did something over the weekend, we'd love to hear from you. Give us some positivity today. It's kind of a bummer down day with Tony's passing. So give us a little something. I want to talk about, I did Thursday's show. Thank you, Kevin McCoy. And Merry Christmas, by the way, to everyone. If we didn't get a chance to talk to you prior to the holiday, Merry Christmas to all of you out there. And I did a chance to do the show on Thursday. We had a limited list of who's playing out, and it got whammied by the weather even after we did the show. A lot of people sent in cancellations, and that, thank you for that. I felt like I was doing the news media school closing thing. So many places were canceling their shows, and musicians as well couldn't get to the shows. But I do want to talk about something back last Wednesday, if I can get it to come up here. I may. Went to see, for a few minutes, really on a real whim, kind of. We went up to Milano's, which is 5 minutes from the house here. And Milano's in Miamisburg, and got a chance to see Heath Bowling. Now, Heath was on the show Wednesday with the Band, did a great job on that, and introduced us to his new endeavor, and that is going to be being the lead singer of Route 88. Jeff Edwards, who we collaborated with a lot on the show here, moved to Nashville. He was their lead singer and frontman. And Heath Bowling has taken that spot. What do we got? Lots of CD gigs on Friday. Yeah, it was bad. Roads were pretty slick out there. They were. I was out on them part of the day on Friday and got in and said, I'm staying in. And I felt horrible about not getting to Strangelove's last show, but it just, we passed over 100 cars into the wall and spun out on the highway as we were running that day to take Mrs. Hall around town to work and to do some closings in Cincinnati area. And it just was too much of a risk to do that with all the Christmas things going on. So I want to talk about Heath Bowling for a minute, and that's really all I've got today. So if you have somebody you saw play over the weekend, please drop it in the comments. I'm dealing with a little scratchy throat here and having trouble talking, so I'm not going to be on long. But I want to say that Heath has done like this 180 in his music set list. Last time I really got a chance to hear Heath was at Springfest in the Berg, and he had added a lot of music to his list. But many, many times I saw Heath early on in Hall Around Town radio days. Heath was playing sad country songs, man. I mean, it was Tear in Your Beer, you kept waiting. Hopefully the dog would come home and the girlfriend would come back and all those things. But he was singing the saddest country songs you'd ever want to hear. And there's a lot of places that like that. And we were talking about that on the show on Wednesday. If you didn't watch that, check it out. And you'll want to definitely see what he had to say about that, because it's interesting how he kind of tweaks his set list depending on the room he's playing. And he plays a lot of venues every year. So it was fun to have Heath on the show and talk about this. But his show, man, blew me away. I had not seen Heath in so long, especially playing the music he was playing at Milano's. And it was, let me just mention a few here. I've got a few that I wrote down. Going to California, Zeppelin. Slide by the Goo Goo Dolls. He did a Brett Young song, country song. Pearl Jam. He played Rocket Man. Elton song. Wild World. Cat Stevens, or Yusuf, or whatever you want to call him at this point. Sam Sham. Little Red Riding Hood. He did some Pink Floyd. Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf. He did a Buffalo Springfield, For What It's Worth. And Californication while we were there. Plus, that's just naming a few of them. So yeah, Heath nailed it, man. We were thrilled. We couldn't believe the difference in him. And I'm not saying he was bad before. He played a genre of music that people really enjoy in some venues, but he was a good appeal to the crowd there at Milano's, and it was a lot of fun. So we enjoyed a Milano sub, which is always good, and some Heath Bowling music on Wednesday night. And that was only for about an hour. Unfortunately, we couldn't get out. There's so many things that go on that we'd love to go see and just don't get a chance to go, because some of the drives are, for some of you who are in the Cincinnati area, you can buzz to the Bell in 5 minutes and go home in 5 minutes. It's 35 minutes one way for us. So sometimes it takes a little bit of coaxing to get Mrs. Hall around town to load up and go and do those kind of things after she's worked all day. So what do we got? Joe Cole says he has a video of. Oh, you have a video of Tony and you playing One Way Out. I'd love to see that. If you could see that or post that, Joe, that would be awesome. I'd love to see it, or send it to me and I'll post it on our page or something, because Tony loved that Southern style rock and all. He was great, and bluesy rock and so on. And seen a lot of tributes come in today about Tony and his life. And, he fought the battle the way he wanted to, folks. I mean, he did it his way, as they say. And what a stand-up guy. And so sad that he's gone and left us on Christmas Day as well. And my heart breaks for his family. And Joe said he sang it. All right. Love to see it. Yeah, Wanda Bone. I hear that's happening. The Bogarts thing. And Arena Rock Show is just flat taking the country by storm, man. These guys, amazing. Amazing stuff. So really, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Talked about Heath Bowling last Wednesday, and the rest of the time, I didn't see any music. So if you saw music, we'd love to hear about it in the comments today. If you're watching afterwards, obviously it's not our regular live time. Please drop some comments for us and let us know. I do want to mention tomorrow, though, we have some fun stuff happening tomorrow. If you've been watching our shows on Tuesday called Hot Topic Tuesday, you know that my lovely co-host Karis has a knack for firing the show up. And we've been having a blast. We're going to have some special guests on tomorrow. Last week, we talked about some fun stuff regarding stage presence and whether you need it, whether you don't, whether you should have a flamboyant stage show or you shouldn't, depending on where you're playing and all those things. It was a killer show, and a lot of people had wonderful comments on it. And tomorrow, we're going to be joined by the guy who actually came up with that topic. And we have people write in all the time and give us topics on it. Toy Hobbs from Rockstar. Toy's going to be on. And the one and only Miss Jackie will join us from the over-the-top stage show perspective. unbelievable stage show with her. And then we have the old crooner, Seven West, going to step into the program tomorrow to talk about his solo and duo acoustic gigs and so on. So we look forward to that. Bring your questions, bring your comments. That's at 5:00 tomorrow, live here at All Around Town Radio. I'm struggling, as you can see. I'm not even breathing well right now, so I'm going to get off here. I've been on long enough, but please let your friends know. We'll post this on the page. Let your friends know we were early today if they follow the show. And we'll be back tomorrow at 5:00 with the lovely, lovely Karis, my co-host. Looking forward to her, as always. And I got like 10 messages last week, too, that are you guys mad at each other? Oh, my God. People take such serious crap over the internet. Karis and I are great. We have a great time. We enjoy what we do. If you could see anything that goes on after the show when we're off the air, you'd laugh at everything. But we enjoy it. And she's a wonderful co-host. Love having her with me. So you guys stay warm tonight. Looks like a big warm up for New Year's Eve. Ought to be a great night for the New Year's Eve celebrations out there. And we'll be bringing you the list on Thursday of who's playing out, especially New Year's Eve. So make sure you tune in for that as well. It's brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. And again, guys, we're going to get out of here, but we want to pass our condolences on to Tony Geetline's family and friends on the loss of a wonderful bass player and a better human being. And we will miss him for a long, long time, always. So we're getting out of here. I'll leave us. Let's see. Let's leave it with a little bit of Johnny Fink today, if we can. We'll see y'all later. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
When I see you, babe, don't wear that dress too tight. When you walk by, try not to look so right. 'Cause when you come home, child, I don't want you now. No, when you come home, child, I don't want you now. You done me wrong for the last time now. You broke my heart just like our old wedding vow. When you come back, please don't stay too long. Go back yonder, wherever he is from. So when you come home, child, I don't want you now. No, when you come home, child, I don't want you now. No. Hey!